house, but like percentage-wise, like how much percent below did you think you got? Like 10% below what you should have
No,
spent?
more.
20%?
More? We got a very good deal. Basically, what happened is, this guy sold us a house, and he had a 94-year-old woman living in the basement. God bless him. He did not want to kick her out and put her on the street. So he said, sell you this house. He wasn't selling it to developers. But you have to keep this woman. I said, okay.
Like keep her as a concubine?
Keep her. She was going to live there as long as she was going to live there, was basically what we signed on for.
Did you find this through, like, how did you find the place? Through, like, a broker? Like, I've got a good deal for
dicey,
you.
like, it wasn't on Street Easy or any of those. It was sort of on, I don't know, through another website or something. So, we get there.
GrannyHomes.com?
What's that?
GrannyHomes.com?
Right. I've never heard of it, but you know what? You're just excited. We were getting our ass kicked in the search to find a place. So we said, all right, we'll take it on.
Was it an email like, you want house me have with old
right,
person?
I have house. It was broken English from a 98-year-old.
You're like, fuck it, I'm going to reply to this. We need a house.
So we decided to do it, and we took her on, and she was paying us a minor amount of rent in the basement, and it was like it was a legitimate apartment. It was set up. So the first thing that was sort of interesting is she went to go sign her first rent check, and she signed my name with the number 6. She wrote it out to PE6ER. That was the first sign something was a little bit amiss.
How old is she?
93 or 4?
I mean, so she's like almost older than time.
Yes, but we did right by her. She lived there. She lived there for a while.
So
This is where I told Peter to stop telling me, because you notice he said for a while.
Yeah. I want to see. I assume she dies, but
she doesn't
I'm not
die.
gonna ruin the end. Don't ruin the ending for me. Come on.
She went missing for a while.
Wait, what's the just backtrack. What's the sixer thing?
What's that?
The thing where she signs your name with a 6.
She has a bit of dementia. Or something. I don't know. But she went to go write a check out, and she put a 6 in my name. My name is not spelled with a 6.
Are you sure you're not spelling your own name wrong?
Positive.
And that's not the way she just wrote T's?
No, it was clearly a 6.
Okay.
Why would you jump to T? Like,
Because
I would jump to maybe like a weird A, but you jump to a T?
Because he said PE6ER.
Oh.
You're not even following. You're lost already. We didn't even get to the meat and potatoes of the story.
The did you correct her and go, "Oh, I don't have a 6 in the
to some extent."
Or would the bank take that?
No. So we tried a few more times.
Oh, the bank wouldn't take it?
No. So like, I know you, PETER. That's not you.
My license has a T there, but for slang I put a 6 because I'm gangster.
Right, it's my rapper name.
You're clearly not P6er.
So you know what? She basically went on. It's actually not as good of a story as you think it is. I mean, she went. It was just a lot of batshit stuff that happened over and over. She was really kind of cool. She swore like a trucker. She was sort of affected by.
Where we're at with the story is that she's lost.
Wait. What
else?
Well,
so she got lost. All of a sudden, we did not know where she was, and we were trying to find her. And it's actually sort of a sad story. She doesn't have any family or friends, so we're trying to navigate her.
Well, 94, they're probably all dead.
Well, yes,
yeah,
that is
she
true.
probably had family and friends.
Yeah, she's a survivor.
She is a survivor. She had this wheelchair that was powered. It looked like an television joystick. Right? It had this little stick that came up, and it had 4 bars. And when it was on the 4th bar, it was fully charged. Hers was always on 1 bar.
All listeners are Googling in television right now.
I would talk to her and be like, "Where are you going to?" "Oh, I'm going here. I'm going to the doctor's office. I'm going to this place, and I got to get this, and I have to come back." I'm like, "You have 1 bar on your electric power wheelchair. 1 bar." She's like, yeah, no, I got it.
Maybe she goes manual.
1 bar equals 1 days of traveling, right?
Maybe no matter where she went, what she did, she always had 1 bar. She Went missing for about 2
Do you,
months.
wait, hang on. Do you think it's like you're like, I gotta charge my iPhone, and the woman's like, I'm charging my electric wheelchair. You're like, God damn it, finish! Come on, you don't need 2 bars.
I think that things were just made better back then. She always had 1 bar in a wheelchair, and she got everywhere she needed to go. She's actually kind of an amazing woman. She was able to navigate the bus perfectly. She got to where she needed to go. She went missing for a while, and we found out she was in a rehabilitation center, and her foot was ran over by a car, apparently.
How?
But she has a fake leg, and she's in a wheelchair.
She's a fake leg.
We're not 100% sure how that went, but that's what she says.
Can we slow down with this story? You're just jumping
There's
into
so
random
much going
pieces.
on. It's like,
Yes.
Yeah, you're like, anyway, so she's now officially living as a bat. Anyway, so I'm going to move on with the story.
No, she exploded into that.
She's made out of pickles. Anyway.
It wouldn't have been the weirdest thing that happened.
Tapioca came out of her nose. So tell me, like, what point, like, this happened recently she disappeared?
No, this was as she was our tenant. She disappeared for a while.
This is like 2 years ago, a year ago, yesterday?
No, this would have been fall of 2014.
So how long do you think it takes you to notice that she's no longer there? Like, you guys say goodnight to every day, right? Like,
No, and we don't live there at this point. We are renovating it, and we're not too stringent on the rent checks because, you know what, she's 93, and you know what, she's late. We're not really going to be too affected by it, but
we're taking that old bitch to
all
court.
of a sudden it's 2 months and there's no sign of her. We think that something is amiss.
So do you feel bad that you haven't been checking in on Estelle?
Well, we did check on her for a while. Like, I was trying to find if she had a next of kin, and she listed somebody. So I was like, all right, that's great. You know, because
Who is this Jesus H guy?
we absolutely, positively did the right thing by her every step of the way.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
Yeah.
But did you
We coulda
like
kicked
every
her
night
out
you didn't go
many
and check like,
times.
Estelle, are you okay, Estelle? Good night, Estelle. And eventually you just stopped checking on her, and she doesn't feel loved anymore.
Well, the elephant in the room is when she leaves. You know, it's like
She really leaves.
she leaves. But anyhow, so I did this whole search trying to find who her next of kin was, who she listed as a next of kin, and I did the rounds and found out, and I found out that ultimately it was me. She listed me. I was the person who was listed, so the whole thing came back to me again.
When you looked for her, did you place like nail signs to post around the city, being like, "Old woman, kind of looks like this,
Has peg
found,
leg and in a wheelchair."
But nobody would have known it. All of a sudden, she pulled her leg off, and my jaw dropped. I was like, "Yeah, I didn't know that."
Has realistic plastic foot.
Swears like a trucker, wears a wig, and is kind of cool. You know what? I feel like anybody under 90 is kind of a pussy, frankly. I mean, this woman deals with what she deals with and does it well. Mm-hmm. But ultimately,
hang on. She
ended up in a rehabilitation center, and I think she's doing fine. I don't know.
You don't know?
It is.
Wait, why did she wear a wig? Did she want to fool people that think she's like 80 instead of 90?
She had a wig on. It was.
My professor right now is like 75 and he's wearing a wig. And it's
would,
like jet black.
You'd be talking to her and then she'd wheel into the other room and come back and she'd have the wig on halfway through the conversation.
I've grown hair in the last 2 minutes.
They'll never notice.
It was kind of like mittens. She would just sort of put them on as she put them on.
Tell me the leg thing. So what's... You
also,
alluded to this in Sanity.
Guess this is mildly interesting.
Mildly?
Well,
this is amazing.
It's mildly interesting. You know what? I will say I did like her. I think she was an interesting person. She's a strong woman. We had to move her into a motel for 10 days because we had to renovate certain parts of the house, and
they gutted. Basically, they made it just a frame of a house.
Yes.
Are you just keep dancing around the leg story because you know it's going to make me more like make me anticipate it even more? Come on,
I didn't guess that she didn't have a leg.
Wait,
and
the
comedy
her leg off?
not the comedy, but she ended up in a rehabilitation center because her leg was ran over by a car. But she's in a wheelchair. That's not possible. But it's also the second time that her foot was ran over by a car from my recollection of how things went down. So her foot was run over by a car twice. No one saw anything, but she ended up in the rehabilitation center.
Do you think every time she's like, I'm gonna try walking one more time. I'm gonna put my foot on the road. Ah!
She was an ornery bitch. I think that she just did her own thing. And the first week we moved in, she goes to our contractor. We weren't renovating her place. She goes, you gotta take my couch out of here. He's like, why? You gotta get my couch out of here. He's like, Peter promised me a brand new couch. He's like, really? That's doesn't sound like my job as a contractor to get a couch and give it to you.
She's still trying to pull fast ones.
It really isn't on my list of things to do today, but that's what he said. Yes, please take the couch out of here and tell him that he needs to purchase a new couch for me and bring it to me now.
And a diamond-encrusted peg leg.
Right. And he said so. She ended up in the rehabilitation, doing great, and she's better, but she had 4 wheelchairs and 2 legs, actually. 2 fake legs we found. I did go through the place thinking there would be some sort of a weird buried treasure. There was not.
That's a pretty good buried treasure, the 2 fake legs.
So wait, you said the basement's not finished.
No, it's gutted.
So, was she living in dirt?
No. We gutted it after
getting ready for the afterlife.
While she was there, it was fine.
That's the part of the story I
we didn't renovate the basement.
I saw you.
Yeah.
Because Peter was giving me the tour, and he's like, the basement's not finished. But we bought the place with a 94-year-old in it. So I just pictured this old lady like living in dirt for like 50 years.
Jay,
Right.
I think we have a caller.
She lives at the bottom of a well as we designated for her.
I think we have a caller. I think Estelle's on the line. Hello, Peter. Why did you leave me in the dirt? I had to leave because you leave me in the dirt. Why did you do that to me? Why did you stop saying goodnight to me, Peter?
All I'm saying is I'm glad that we don't live there while she lives there. Although I do want to visit her again soon because...
Why don't you pivot? I have little candies for you, Peter. Peter, do you want my candy?
She didn't have candy, man. I opened up her refrigerator. There was like a bat wing and a couple carrots. She had crazy shit in her refrigerator.
Peter, I might have left a fake limb at my plate. Could you bring my fake limb back?
Or 9 of them.
Isn't it like a requirement that if you're over 80, you have to have Werther's Original somewhere in your apartment?
Yes, but the good part about that is Werther's Original realizes that, and they up their game. Now they're chocolate covered and they're chewy, and there's all sorts of benefits.
I know they have chewable ones that are really good.
Have you ever been upset you got a Werther's Original?
No, they're good.
They're really good.
They're really good. No, what I get upset with is if it's an old lady like puts a bowl of hard candy in front of me and it's just like cherry and lemon
or ribbon.
Yeah,
fuck you.
Like, I don't like any of these, but I feel obligated to take one.
Right. It's like it has like a strawberry on the candy, but then it tastes like ass. And you're like,
yeah.
Although I will say your house is a little awesome. Every like 4 or 5 feet, there's a giant bowl of chocolate or candy. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I might go have one soon.
Some of them do the candy good. Some of them they have just bowls of shit, and they offer it to you every 10 minutes, and you're like, all right, I gotta come up with a plan to not have this.
Giant fucking clump.
Yeah.
So where's this rehab place that she's living in?
Somewhere in Brooklyn.
So
I'm going soon. Maybe we can get her as a guest. I don't know.
Can we get her on the show? Could you? We're doing a podcast this weekend. Would you mind living till this weekend?
She would actually be. You know what? She would be amazing.
I would love to ask her about.
I've gotten
the Civil War.
We had to check her into a motel room for 10 days while we were renovating, and she does. The problem is she pees everywhere. How you cool with that?
She could phone in.
Yeah,
I don't think she knows Skype.
No, we could just you could call from a cell phone, put it on speaker.
She doesn't have a cell phone. I bought her a cell phone and she didn't understand it.
I will buy her a burner phone. We could call this
doesn't
number.
understand. She didn't understand her rotary phone.
Can she call from Morse
She spelled
code?
my name with a 6.
Well, you're her next of kin, so you're obligated to dial the number, put it on speaker, and then you
If
can
she
leave.
comes on this show, she's sitting right here, and she's in a wheelchair, and we have to lift her up, and she's going to swear like a trucker, and she's going to be awesome.
You know what? All
and
right.
she's going to make...
Diapers. Throw her in some diapers.
She does wear that. Yes.
We're good to go then. As long as there's not a puddle of pee, totally fine with it.
We'll tell that to the comfort.
When she's out of rehab, does she move back in with you?
What's that?
When she's out of rehab, does she get to move back in?
No, it's sort of a nice ending in that she wanted to live in this she said the first day we met her, like, you're welcome to stay here as long as you want. Just happy to have a house finally. And she's like, well, I'd like to live in Cobble Hill Rehabilitation Center. I said, okay, well, that's a rehabilitation center, but great, okay. And as it turns out, you can live there. They have permanent residence in the back, so she ended up living there. Like, they're like, yeah, we'll take her on.
Are you upset to not be getting rent checks now?
No.
Or was she like
they're minimal.
Was she rent controlled, so she was still paying like $56?
She was the price that she was paying was set up by the person that we bought the place from.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fine, but she did try to. She was a little awesome. She'd be like, "What's the rent? $9?" No, we'd go through this every month. It's not $9, and you know it's not $9, and you're not getting a new couch. And please,
are you trying to find a new old woman to live there?
Yes, I want somebody much older now, though.
Okay,
yeah,
like 100.
I want somebody with no legs, no arms, and at least 100.
Just a stump.
You know, honey. It was kind of cool having an old woman living with us. What if we get a new one?
But these 94-year-olds don't go down quick enough. I mean, we want some rent, but we don't want like a permanent roommate.
Oh, go down.
Why don't?
Here's no, okay. Not like that. Oh, no.
Okay.
Why don't you turn your basement into a hospice? You get rent, and you know they're not going to be there that long.
Yeah. You know what, though? I think she's I don't know. She's probably still alive now, killing it. I don't know.
Do you think she listens to the show?
No.
Probably. I mean, we have like 7 million listeners, so...
I think that she could be on the show. I think that I think that I could work it out so that she's funny. She swears and she's funny. There you go. Done. What else do you need?
Do you think Jay's ratings will go up if she dies in the show?
No.
No, we're huge in the 89 to 97 category.
That's your demographic!
Yeah, and so it'll go down if she dies.
Those people that have been alive for a century, we nail that audience.
They're like, all right, I've literally listened to every single thing possible on the planet. I'll try Brink now.
What would you want to, so Jay, what would you want to ask someone who's 94 years old?
I asked her everything. Honestly, I asked her, because I sat with her for a lot, I would ask her, were you during the Depression? What did you do this time? What did you do that? Like how? But the thing is, she also, part of the story I left out, she did have dementia, so she would make crazy shit up all the time. So you'd have to sort of sift through.
I worked in the knitting factory with Captain America.
Right.
Part of that story doesn't
What's your
sound
name?
correct.
Sandwich. Oh. So, you know what, it would be, I don't know if it'd be exploiting her to be on the show. She would have a good time.
In my 20s, I hoard myself out to the Deadpool.
Look, if she has a good time and we have a good time, there's no harm done. Yeah, exactly. Good time by everybody.
Maybe we'll create controversy, which would be even better.
These assholes just make fun of old women all episode.
You know what? I never marginalized her. I always sort of stayed in it with her and secretly laughed at a lot of shit, but you know what? I thought she was lovely.
You know, if she's entertaining, you don't need her.
She's entertaining as hell. She's entertaining as hell. She would, honestly, she was, I thought she was quite funny. She wants to screw you over. She swears a lot. And she's ornery as fuck, because people that age are.
Yeah.
Like, she was at the senior home, and she would basically have the electric wheelchair. She would knock people the fuck down. Like, she wouldn't look where she's going. She'd back into people.
Is she doing that on purpose, or is she doing...
I don't know, maybe.
If she's doing it on purpose, then she's awesome, and we need to get her on the show.
I think that she didn't care. Like, she would run over people's feet in the senior center, and they'd say, Stephanie, you can't do that. That's not what you do. And she'd be like, that's what I did.
What are people going to do? Oh, yeah, Olay, I'm going to kill you. Oh, yeah, life's probably going to beat you to that.
Yeah, no, she sounds awesome.
So get her on the show.
She's pretty cool. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, seriously, that would be actually That'd be our best guest we'd ever get. No,
It's a pretty good guest. I mean,
I would think she'd be an awesome guest. If she talk about like just the olden days.
I see. I love that. That's what I'm saying. Everybody under 85 is a pussy. Like, honestly, the shit that you have to deal with, like the depression and all of that, and the wars and everything. Like, what is think about all the things you've complained about in the last week.
Oh, forget it. I got a man cold. I'm like freaking out.
I had to jumpstart my car this morning, and I was like peeing in my pants, pissed. You know what?
At least you know how to do that.
I looked it up on YouTube.
Okay, there we go.
Positive,
I would
positive.
have to as well.
I did kind of know how, but
I know like 2 prongs go to 2 prongs, but I don't know where to what. Something on the battery.
Positive, negative, negative. I'm sitting here with on a YouTube video. Got it. All right. And then some guy pulled over to help us out, and he crossed the 2 things, and they sparked. I'm like, no, just freaking Eric, the car guy, said not to do that. Watch.
I'm always amazed at how little I know about cars. I could put in gas, and I think I could put air in the tires. I could pour oil in, but I can't do an oil change, but I can add oil. That's it.
I've always thought that if I did have a flat tire, I could change that flat tire, but I don't know if I don't know why I have that faith in myself, because I don't know if I actually could do that.
I think the only part I think I would have trouble with is the jack.
Changing of the tire.
Well, I could
The
take
part involving
the
getting
jack. Here's the thing: you have to put it at. I did it in high school. You have to put the jack at the frame of the car, because if you put it like in the door,
your door and shit.
I did.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain part. I wouldn't have a clue where that part was, but I
Exactly.
think it should be obvious when you look into the car what that part. Right?
I know there's a spot not to put it under. I just don't know where the correct spot is. So I'm like halfway there.
The same thing with jumper cables. Like, I know it goes on this part here, but is it all the way down at the tip? Where does it go?
Right.
But it's kind of, you get it. I don't know. Happens.
But you could just check, like, did you look on your phone for YouTube?
Yeah, I just went on my phone, YouTube jump car, because I didn't want to look like a jackass.
Yeah, but I feel like most guys just like know this.
No, I don't think that's correct. I don't think in New York it is, because I was looking at it, and I was like 95% there, but I asked 2 people at the hardware store, like, I don't know, dude.
Really?
I don't know.
See, a lot of my Long Island friends, like, they know a lot about cars.
It's also a New York thing, too. Like,
Well, because we don't drive. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you drive, but like, not most of the time.
Not often.
Yeah. I drive like once every 3 months when I go to Long Island to visit my parents. And then I'm driving like 10 minutes to like my buddy's house to drink beers. So
Right,
like,
I'm gonna stretch Subway.
yeah.
Here's a car thing that happened to me today, because now we're in the suburbs, and so my wife takes the car to the train station, and then once the nanny gets here, I'm supposed to go to the train station also. I call my wife leaves. We're going to leave with the cars. The nanny's actually going to drop me off at the train. And she's like, hey, where are the keys? And I call my wife, and she's like, oh, shoot, the keys are with me. I was like, okay, well, we have a backup set. Oh, the backup set of keys are with me. And I was like, so I have a car, but with no way to access the car.
Oh, man.
It was kind of annoying this morning. She's like, don't we have another set of keys? How many sets of keys do you think we have for the car?
We have 1.
Then we have the one they gave you and the backup set, and you have both of them for some ungod known reason. You have all the keys with you.
Wait,
And
the person took the keys and the backup?
Yeah, my wife took the keys and the backup. Not the person, my wife.
Oh.
Did she explain why she did that?
Because I don't know.
That kind of defeats the purpose of the backup.
Yeah, she was like, I
And
don't know
there's
why
no
the
need
backup was
for
in my
2.
bag. I think when we got the car, she just put the backup keys in this bag and never looked
Okay,
again.
fair enough. Accidental. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I don't think she was like. Maybe this is her subtle ways of trying to drive me insane.
She's like, I'll take these and these, and she's just like shoving
This'll
keys
fuck
into
with
her
him.
bag.
Right.
She's like, well, why don't you call Honda roadside assistance and they'll open the car up? And I'm like, I'm not calling roadside assistance to my garage. I don't want to be I'm gonna wait for an hour and they're like, well, we're on the highway. You are you? I'm right next to the highway, about 2 miles off in my house.
just ring my doorbell. I'm in my living room.
Did you
And would it kill you to bring me a sandwich?
Yeah. Bring me a beer.
Did you lock the keys in the car? I didn't lock the keys as much as the keys are in New Jersey right now, and the person with them in New Jersey is not bringing them back till tonight.
I actually did that when I was in college. I used to deliver pizza for a place, and I drove up to a dorm, and I went in, and I had like 2,500 fucking pizzas in my car, and I locked the keys in the car with the pizza in the car running.
Oh man!
And it ended up AAA. Fuck, what do you do?
I think you quit the job right there and just like.
Did they come quick, or did you have like a car full of cold pizzas?
I had a car full of cold pizzas.
Ugh.
The guy who owned it was Paul's Pizza. The guy Paul was pissed.
I can rightfully so.
He made
Really?
me buy
He
all
was?
the pizza. And then I actually brought the pizza to the bar where a lot of my friends were, and like I walked around a bar and handed it all out.
Oh, the people that like actually ordered the pizza, they wouldn't take it anymore.
No, because it was like 3 hours. I went to University of Connecticut, so there wasn't, it was like the middle of cow country. So, and also I didn't have AAA. So by the time I got my car open, I think I had to call the police, who came with, what was that thing? The fucking, like the jack that went in.
The life lock, or
No, that long tube, the snake. No, that's for toilet.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that.
You didn't want to try it to like that when you deliver it. Go like, hey guys, the pizza, same day delivery.
Here is a cold pizza 3 hours later. That goes well at parties.
60 hours or less. What's the problem?
Remember yesterday when you had a party? Here's the pizza you ordered yesterday.
We did used to pick toppings off the pizza though, as we delivered it. Now and then I would take a pepperoni or two off of it.
It's amazing the shit jobs you do in college. I had the same thing with me and Bri actually worked at a movie theater, and we get to take home all the hot dogs. So we would plan
awesome.
we would have like a sack of like 50, and then we would just go to the college radio station and do a show, and we'd be like, first caller gets a hot dog, as well as the next 25 callers.
I think I might actually have it for college jobs. I was a janitor in a morgue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, were you
Yeah.
just going for good stories?
No. You know what? The best story was that I did it 1 day a week, and I got paid for 7 hours, but I swept like a motherfucker. And I got the whole thing done in 3 hours, and it was the life science building. So let's face it, no one cares.
It wasn't like the
Right, the Oval Office. No one cares if it's dusty in a
no,
morgue.
but it wasn't like the room where they're like embalming.
Well,
Yeah.
it was. I mean, it was the life science building, so it was all the students who.
But did you have to like sweep up like bodily fluids?
No, it was
Okay.
like fucking like eyeballs and livers and stuff.
Right,
on the
right.
ground.
Okay.
Were there dead bodies around you?
In containers that I didn't see, but you know what? I still had a sense of work ethic. I still swept that. I was like, can't be dusty.
Mm-hmm.
Not to. I'm sure you wouldn't do this, but did you ever take advantage of the dead bodies?
Did I have sex with a dead body?
Yeah. You could just
define
imagine.
sex.
I guess sticking anything of yours in theirs.
What's that?
Sticking anything of yours in theirs.
Sticking anything important into a dead body. Did I ever do that?
Tongues too.
Did you
I
ever
fell in love
penetrate-
with the
did you ever
I
penetrate
fell in
a
love
dead
with the
body?
cadaver once, but I didn't have the nerve to actually go forward and do anything.
Rejected by a dead body?
Yes.
Just steal it and bring it back to the apartment. Just have it sitting on your couch when your roommates wake up.
Did you know when you applied, did it say, like, with the ad, like, want to sweep up dead people place? Or
No,
was
there
it,
was no. It was basically what is it called in school? You have work study.
Work study, yeah,
Work
yeah.
study. It was
Yeah.
work study.
Oh,
All right, that's available. I can sweep. And
mine was at the radio station. I think that was a little better.
You got
You know,
You got a radio station?
Yeah.
I'm doing this for free now. I would certainly prefer this
Hell yeah.
to being a janitor in a morgue.
I worked my way up to program director, and then I had half my classes were centered around it. So that's how I got through college. I had like radio production, and it was like the finals.
That was work study?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Really?
Well, I had
Jesus
one work
Christ.
study at the Student Activity Center.
Wow, you win.
And the Student Activity Center, like part of my job was like be security for the annual festival. So like I was like security for like the Roots and G Love and Special Sauce, and so I
Really?
would just
What the fuck?
basically I just stood in front of the stage and watched because like I'm gonna do shit. Like if somebody's rushing the stage, I'm a pussy. I'm not really gonna do
Right.
anything.
And I swept up dirt and was tempted by dead bodies.
So I basically
I want to rush
go
the
for
stage.
receipts.
It's that way.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
on.
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, like
The,
I had
I just
access to
love-
like G Love's, what do you call it, trailer where they like dress up. So I just like picked 3 hot girls out of the crowd. I'm like, you guys want to meet G Love? Let's go back there. I was the worst security guard ever.
Peter, did you do the same thing? Hey, you want
And
to
I
meet
was
that
the
body?
best janitor ever. Damn you.
Nothing gets you more dead. You know what? I was just gonna look up I don't know why I use this G Love. I wanted to look up G Love to see what they look like.
The girls love
And
G
so-
Love.
But
What
I
is their
typed
song?
in
I
G.
forget.
I typed in G Love without the
Cold beverages.
without a line in between. So I just got a Google search for gloves.
Gloves. Yeah, girls love G Love. You guys want to do some Facebook questions?
Yes, I'm gonna pee quick. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Sure.
All right.
Or we can just sit in silence while Mark Googles G Love.
I can't believe I get Google glove. I'm going to read. I'm sure Peter won't mind.
He's actually really good.
What'd you say?
He's actually really good.
I like the music. I'm just going to read the review from iTunes.
Oh yeah.
This is by PC915. Review of the Brink of Sanity. That's the title of his review. 5 stars. I listen on my way to work, and it usually 2 or 3 guys talking about things that really annoy them, or funny articles on Infowars. Jay the straight man is the everyman of the group that usually tries to keep the show moving. Mark and Bri are typically trying to pull in different funny directions, sometimes to Jay's dismay. I really enjoy the pod, and I'm a happy subscriber. I hope you guys continue with the pod and are enjoying it. Thanks for something that makes my Mondays, sometimes Tuesdays, more bearable.
That's
Thank
awesome.
You, PC.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was an awesome review. If you want to write an awesome review for Brink of Sanity or the next podcast, put them on iTunes, and we would be more than happy to read them. Actually, we'd love to read them.
It helps us in the rankings too. So we
It helps
want
us
the
get
show to
through life.
grow. New subscriber. If you're listening to the show, subscribe on iTunes too. Even if you listen to it through other means, subscribe because that helps us in the iTunes rankings.
If you're listening to the show, tell someone else that you're listening, and maybe they'll listen too. That would help us also.
That would. So he said I'm the straight man. Does that mean I'm just not funny?
I thought they were just saying you weren't gay.
I mean, I know I try and keep the show like going, which is fine.
Are you really going to read into the 5-star review? Wait, why is the 5-star review
Grab one of your
offend me?
candies.
Well, I mean, we got one like every 5 months, so I figure that's like a large percentage of the audience, and if they're
Peter, would you
Yes.
be insulted if someone called you the straight man? And we just read we have an iTunes review. We just read the review. It was 5 stars, and they called Jay the straight man, and Jay now is insulted.
I'm not insulted. I'm just
No.
concerned that like maybe I'm found as the not funny person. On the
No,
show.
that doesn't mean. I don't think that means not funny. That means that you have a delivery that keeps a steady balance to the show.
Well,
Yeah,
then thank you
I
very
would
much.
agree with
I
that.
love that now.
You guys ever watch the Christopher Guest movies?
No, I know of them, but I haven't
Guffman
really
and all
seen
that.
them.
Like
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily.
We have to go back
bad
a little more,
thing.
like Abbott and Costello.
Um,
go back to,
Costello-
like-
I don't think
Costello
either of them are funny. frankly.
No, but like I think Abbott was the straight man.
All right, so what comedy duos or comedy teams?
You didn't like Abbott and Costello? I liked Abbott and Costello.
Three
Three Stooges. Anyone
funny
think the
bits.
Three Stooges? I find it to be excruciating.
Laurel and
myself.
Hardy.
I don't know.
All right, maybe
I'm
we'll
not
move,
familiar with their brand of comedy.
Maybe we'll move forward from
What-
the 30s.
What's a modern day?
Maybe move backwards with any comedy routines from the 1860s we could bring up.
I Love
I
Lucy.
got a good one actually.
Go to the 50s.
Not funny.
Naked Gun movies. Leslie Nielsen was basically the straight man.
Yeah, Leslie, he had a good delivery. Like Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman was the straight man, but hilarious, right?
Yeah, he kind of grounded the bit a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he died, but
It's
I'm sure that won't happen to you.
Yeah, so don't
Don't get shot in the face by my wife.
Yes.
don't have your wife catch
Thank
you
you.
having an affair if she knows where the guns are.
He had an affair?
Yeah, that's the story. Was I think? She
Oh, I
watched-
thought she just went crazy. And,
That's what I thought too.
Let's find out, Google.
I'll start reading
I-
questions while you Google this.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure she caught him having an affair and shot him and then.
Oh, yeah. I didn't read into that at all.
I could have made that story up.
I
also.
think you did. But, yeah, you Google that while I read some questions.
Okay.
Stephen writes, Jay, have you heard of HeroClix? It's a collectible miniatures game. It leaves both Marvel...
Oh, here we go, Death. Okay.
Let me finish the question. It features both Marvel and DC characters. I've heard of it. I have not played it. All right, now you can go.
Okay, on the evening of basically 1998 in May, Bryn Hartman visited the Italian restaurant Buca di Tepo in California with producer and writer Christine Zander, who said
That
she
was his problem. No, I'm kidding.
she was in a good frame of mind. After returning to the couple's nearby home, Bryn started a heated argument with her husband, who threatened to leave her if she started using drugs again, after which she went to bed. While Hartman slept, Bryn entered his bedroom shortly after 3 a.m. with a .38 caliber shotgun and fatally shot him in the head.
So we were right. She just...
Oh, you guys were right, yeah.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman was a nice guy. Nobody on Pee-wee's Playhouse is going to do something like that.
Was he on Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Yeah, he was Cowboy... No. He wasn't Cowboy Curtis. He was... that was Lawrence Fishburne.
You're making shit up now. Lawrence Fishburne was on Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Yeah.
He was Cowboy
that's
Curtis.
True. Yeah, that's true.
What the fuck is that? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was like
He was on Pee-wee's Playhouse also. Hartman, it's in the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was the
Captain Carl.
Captain Carl. That's
I like
right.
that you did a search for Pee-wee and he said Pee-wee P, and the first thing that came up was Pee-wee Herman Philippines. What happened there?
Yeah. We're gonna have to go back to that. I want to see a Philippine version of Pee-wee's Play. Yeah.
Fred Armisen is actually the Phil Hartman of the last decade, I would say.
That's a kind of an insult to Phil Hartman's dead body. Fred Armisen's
I don't
not that
know. You know what?
Phil
Fred
Hartman's
Armisen is
so
good.
much funnier.
Fred Armisen is one of the better Saturday Night Live guys. He's in like my all-time top 10.
I would say
Really?
so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Well, there he is with Pee-wee Herman. You know
I
what?
think he's
Killing it.
mildly
Look
funny.
at that facial expression. Kills it.
Absolutely.
Every time, guy's committed.
Ah.
There's
No, I
Lawrence
feel like Phil
Fishburne.
Hartman's like
Holy
another
crap.
category.
Wow.
Cowboy Curtis.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah, no, he started a lot of guys' careers. If there was an internet, this show would still be on. The show would have had a 20-year run.
What was the draw? Oh, they just weren't famous yet, huh?
Yeah, he had like a great network of people.
Yeah, sure.
I cannot tell you how excited I am for his new movie. Judd Apatow directed it.
Pee-wee
Herman has a new movie coming
Yep.
out?
Really? I didn't know that was something.
2016, new Pee Wee Herman, directed by Judd Apatow. It's gonna
I
be
heard
awesome.
he said he was set up. The whole arrest thing. He claimed they had the. I heard he claimed that they said he was using, I guess it was right or left hand. And he's like, well, that doesn't make sense. I never use my right hand.
It makes
And
sense
like
that he's
actual
set up.
defense.
Like, who goes into a porno theater and looks for guys whacking off? Like, obviously you're going to whack off in a porno theater.
And as Pee-wee Herman.
Yeah.
I mean,
That must be the worst job as a police officer. You're like, wait, I don't have to do traffic duty anymore? No. It's much worse. You have to find the guys whacking off in the porn theater.
Yeah.
Lowest level of
that's that guy's, 4 minutes of fame.
Yeah. Okay.
No, what used to be a cop? Any good stories? Yeah, you know Pee-wee's Playhouse? Caught the guy whacking in a theater once. That was my thing.
When was that? I forget.
1991.
1991. Wow. And then he kind of didn't do anything for a while. Now he's in a Judd Apatow movie. Good for
Yeah, I
him,
guess
you know.
you whack off in public, and you get 15 years later, you're gonna be big.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure actually was a really funny movie, I thought. With pot. I don't really smoke pot, but
Jay, you want to go with the questions?
Jay's taking a pee.
Oh, Bill Cosby actually here in the Wikipedia. Bill Cosby defended Pee Wee Herman, saying, "Whatever Pee Wee's done, this is being blown out of proportion." I mean, I rape women, and no one gives a shit about that.
That guy loves raping women. Wow.
He's really into it. It's not just like a kind of a thing he did once or twice. Apparently, it was his hobby.
You know what? It's impressive how much he accomplished in that terrible field of,
And got away with it.
and got away with it.
I mean, he collected rape victims.
He
And
had, I would say, I forget the news on it, but we're talking about Bill Cosby right now.
Okay.
And how many women he has raped.
Jay, is there anything you do where you have I think like 40 women have come forward. Do you
So
have 40
that-
of anything you've collected?
That's unbelievable that he got away with it that many times.
But even
now.
that, it's just the fact that he was so good at this hobby. Jay, is there anything you've collected more than 40 rape victims that he's collected?
I mean,
how did he have time
have
to do? How did he have time to do anything? The guy was a major movie star.
yeah, that's not
too.
like buying a DVD. Like that takes time, and that's like a full, if not a full day project, and multiple days to plan that out, right?
His to-do list must have been oh, got to prepare for my stand-up show tonight. Got to memorize my lines for being Cliff Huxtable. Oh, and find a woman to rape tonight.
Well, I mean, you also
and
gotta
I have
get
to spend the time to rape them, and then I have to worry about what happened.
Well, no. Before all that, you gotta get the drugs.
Yeah, you have to have a dealer.
So I mean, there's you gotta find a dealer. You gotta get the drugs. You gotta make sure you remember to bring that to the show.